other women. I don't know where I laid, maybe with another set of babies in a cot. That is to tell you how it was in those days. The Lord be praised. He kept me. I may have contracted infection, but He didn't allow that. I survived and I thrived. I want to thank God for His goodness. I want to let you know that shortly after that, a few years as I was growing up, my parents had to go for study leave in the UK. They left us with our grandmother. And for those of you who are approaching 70 or already 70, you know that smallpox was the in thing in those days, and it killed and ravaged the lives of so many. My mother left us with her mother, our grandmom. She doted on us so much. She was afraid of the smallpox. And as she was afraid of the smallpox, she wouldn't let us go out. So this afternoon, she went to have a bath, and she said, "You children, there are 3 of us, and they're here with me." She said, 3 of you, stay in this room. Don't ever go out. As soon as she entered the bathroom, we went out to the balcony because we kept hearing some voices out there. And when we got there, the vaccinators just beckoned on us to come down. You know, the 3 of us went down. And before you know it, they jabbed our hands with the needle. And we were crying. We were crying and weeping, and we went back upstairs to our grandmom, who beat us again. And we increased our cries. Little did we know that we were receiving vaccination against smallpox. And so here we are today. We survived that by the grace of God. I want to just give Him the glory, give Him the honor. Yes, I thank you, Lord. I fast forward to this. I grew up to His glory. I got married to my handsome husband. And I began to work. He has been with me through all the phases of my life. I started work in the local government. I worked so hard that one day the governor called me and said, "You know, Dr. Williams, I have kept some miscreants in an island close to you in Ekpe. I would like you to go and visit them and make sure that you treat them, because I was told that they are falling sick." So I said, "Yes, sir." What could I say? A governor calling me? So we were going. I would take my nursing team. We go there on a boat. I want to thank God that today, as I watched one of them praying, I said, "So these people know God. So they are yearning for God." I told my church at New Estate Baptist Church to Ruleri. And you know, we took a team to go and do praise worship with them, and so many of them gave their lives. And I want to thank God that later on, when I saw one of them in Tinombo Square, I said, "Is it not this person?" He said, "Dr. Williams, it is you." He ran away. I want to thank God because it was by His strength that I did that. And during those times too, I would go through the water, the rivers, and the rivers will not overflow me. You know, I went through on barefoot to go and reach children for immunization. And I want to thank God that I did that very well. Moving forward, I joined an organization called Basic Support for Institutionalizing Child Survivors. This is a USAID funded project, which took me to so many parts of Nigeria. Starting from Zamfara, I went to the east, northeast. I went throughout the western region in those days. I went down to Imo State. You know, I covered majority of the states then in Nigeria, but God kept me. I have slept in very bad hotels. In fact, some of the beds, I barely want to touch my body on it, but I did sleep for the love of these children that I was going to treat. I want to thank Him. He kept me. I did not fall sick. Whilst every other person around me were very afraid of me, and He kept me. He kept me. He kept me. I left that job and I went outside the country. I joined International Health, Development Health. I went to work in East Africa, in Nairobi, and I want to give God the glory that He kept me, because I was supervising 22 countries. So that meant that every 2 weeks I was in the air, going from one country to the other. I went from Egypt, I touched the Mediterranean Sea. I went down to Durban in South Africa, and I touched the ocean. God saw me through. Which of those countries don't I know? I have been to them all. In some rickety airplanes, I went there. He kept me. But I want to thank God that I have a husband who was very patient, because I was always traveling. This day I will travel. In fact, I left him in Nigeria. I went to Nairobi. My children, I want to thank God for them, because they also supported me. They stood by me. I want to thank God. And then thereafter, I left. I joined another organization because I came home. Everybody felt, oh, she's coming home. Now she's coming home, she will stay. They didn't know that I was starting another set of journey. I went from the United States of America to Mexico to Asia. I covered all the continents in this world. My husband was always patient. When they asked him, he would say, she's in Bangkok today. Oh. Tomorrow he will say she's in India. I want to thank God. He's been very faithful. People were afraid for me. My siblings were afraid for me. When they call me and they will say, where are you now? I will tell them, I'm in Uganda, or I'm in Sri Lanka. Why is it that you are traveling all over the place? I said, but I love it. I could do anything for children. And then I began to settle down to watch and to look after babies, newborn babies. They just pull a tug in my heart. I can't see a newborn baby and just let go. In fact, my son one day said, doctor of babies, saving the children. And I said, I just love it. I want to thank God, because today, here I am, standing, only because He made a way. And so please share with me this song. I am standing here, only because You made the way. I am standing here, only because You made the way. I want to thank Him so much for saving and preserving my life. I want to thank Him for the family that He gave me. My husband, I want to thank You for my children. They were so caring. Even when I was not at home, they really didn't bother. They just took care of themselves. You know how it is with mothers, they have to be there. I want to thank God for His faithfulness. I want to thank God for my siblings. They were the ones that were afraid for me. And so when I had an accident way out in Zambia, my sister was the first to be at my bedside. She came all the way from Spain. When I opened my eyes, who did I see? I saw one of them. And together the two of us cried. But you know, God said, you will go through the waters, it will not overflow you. You will go through fire, it will not burn you. So it has been with my God. He has been by my side. He has held my hand. In fact, one day I saw a huge hand carry my hand and said, receive strength for the journey. I want to thank Him these days. I want to thank Him for the church family. They stood by me when I had the accident and I had to be hospitalized for 3 months. They stood by me, they were praying, and here I am standing only because of His mercy. I am standing because of His mercy. I want to thank God for the church.
Make a very good cross-section of the church, representative of what United States Baptist Church is. But I want to thank God to have found a woman like Abimbola Williams. We've been on this journey for 42 years now. And definitely, we have had our up and downs. But one thing I know is that no matter what we do, no matter what quarrel we have, we don't allow the sun to go down on our anger. We have a way of just ending it. I don't know. In the morning, if we wake up and it's hot, by the afternoon time, it becomes cooler, and by evening time, we've forgotten about it. That has been the way it has been all along. I want to thank you for our children, very wonderful children. I have 2 sons, and they are 2 very different characters. And we thank God for them. Thank God for them, and we bless the Lord for them. They have been very, very nice, very, very supportive in their own way also. And I continue to thank God for all that He's doing for us in Jesus' name. Thank you. I want to thank you for the Church of God, University Baptist. We started it in Lagos. In fact, we got born again. We were both from different backgrounds. My wife was a Catholic, and I was a Methodist. And both of us got married. I got married in the Catholic Church. And the first surprise I had was that when they were going to take their communion, they said that I can't partake. So I had to watch, even on our wedding day, and watch the thing go on. But then later, when we got born again and became members of University Baptist Church, we saw that communion is not something that is so sacrosanct that even children do take it in the church where I am now. So we thank God for that. We thank God for the family of God, and we have developed our Christian life through universities. We've been there from the early 90s, and now at least we are nothing less than 30 years now with university. So university is really our church. I was a Methodist for the period. I was actually in the secondary school. I went to Igobi College, and Igobi College was a secondary school where you have Methodists and Anglicans. They were the people that ran it. So it was a mixture. We used to use the Methodist hymn book and do the prayer session was Anglican in nature, but we were using Methodist hymn book. I was very devoted. As a young man, I was an athlete in the secondary school. Most of my mates still remember me for that. I was very active in those days, but now things have gone back. Yes, what can I say again? I want to tell you a secret that since I got married, 90% of my shirts that I wear are bought for me by my wife. 90%. I know that, no more than that. When she travels, she remembers me. And my sons also have developed that habit also. Whenever they see me and go around, and daddy, this is just for you, that is just for you, and that I know. I want to thank you for the up and down. Well, the incident she mentioned then about when she had this, we call it stroke. And the medical people call it, what do you call it? Cerebrovascular infection. Accident. It wasn't an easy period. I had to pack up my business then. When I was in Lagos, I had a shop in Dolphin that was running very well. And all of a sudden, I had to pack it up and go to Nairobi to go and stay with her. And I was there for about 2 years with her. And something that happened was that within 48 hours, when she had that, my mom also had something that I had to do. Something very similar. It just broke down, and I had to balance things, take care of my mom within 48 hours, and then told her that I was coming, and my coming was for 2 years. I was with her in Nairobi. The rest can bear witness to this. It was a very interesting experience also in Nairobi. God just said I should go. I studied in Germany, and I can still speak German very well. So, but then the Nairobi experience, in fact, it was one of the experiences we had that made us to settle there in Abuja. Because when we got back to Nigeria, we saw that life in Nairobi and Abuja, they were very similar. We found out that Lagos is not more a place for us to be. And as you know, I'm a Lagosian, I'm a real one. My mother is from Badagry, my father is from the island. And I went to Igobi College. Although I had my early school, the primary school, I had it in Ibadan. But since I got to secondary school since 1964, we've been Lagosian all through. So I want to thank God for what has happened in the family. I want to thank you for coming here. If I am supposed to do the vote of thanks, so I will still leave that for later. I want to thank God for meeting pastors like Pastor Akitola, Pastor Okorompo, the diaconate, the different sets of diaconates. I think I've had about 5 or 6 different types of diaconates since we got to university. I want to thank you for them. And I want to thank you for church elders also. Thank you for coming, and God bless you all. Thank you.